Residents of Silicon Valley are willing to pay millions of dollars for the right home in the right neighborhood. You think with prices this high, the market would be cooling off everywhere, but the complete opposite is happening. One area just exploded with over 20% year-over-year growth, while buyers in the most exclusive neighborhoods are paying 8% above asking just to secure a home. The smart money knows exactly which communities are worth getting into, and I'm about to show you which areas in the valley are crushing it right now. I'm Spencer Su, former tech professional turned realtor. In the last 12 months alone, I've helped over 60 families make moves throughout the Bay Area, and the competition I'm seeing right now in certain areas are unlike anything I've ever experienced. Stay until the end where I'll reveal the #1 factor driving all this demand that most people completely overlook. Now let's start with the community that's become ground zero for this change, Santa Clara. Most people think of Santa Clara as just another tech town and random suburb, but what's happening in the housing market here show why it's become a top choice for many employees at these companies. Santa Clara has a median home sale price of $1.675 million. But here's what's interesting. Homes have a median days to sell at under 2 weeks, showing very good demand. The competition continues to be solid, with homes still usually getting multiple offers on average, especially single family. So what's driving this demand? It really boils down to one main company, which is NVIDIA. This isn't just about easy commutes anymore. It's about being at the center of the tech industry's transformation. Just think about the wealth creation from companies like NVIDIA itself. This is the first $4 trillion company in history. If you do some basic math calculations, a majority of NVIDIA employees are millionaires. If not, most of them are easily decamillionaires before they even turn 50. As you can imagine, for some of these employees, they just want to divest a little bit from that stock growth. They can easily buy almost every home in all cash. So we're seeing buyers enter the market with big equity from these stock options, and never mind if they're on like mid-level or executive pay. Jensen Huang famously shared on the All-In AI Summit that don't worry about our executive leadership. They are all billionaires.
First of all, I've created more billionaires on my management team than any CEO in the world. They're doing just fine. Don't feel sad for anybody at my layer.
Yeah. But obviously nobody ever wants to care to report that. But it's not just working proximity that's drawing singles, couples, and families to be here. Santa Clara has also invested heavily in new parks and amenities that make it attractive for families. The city has this mix of cutting-edge tech culture and many areas that are family-friendly neighborhoods that successful professionals want. Nearby, you also have the incredibly lovely and powerful Valley Fair in Santana Row. I personally say this is the top 3 malls of the entire Bay Area, whether it's to shop, dine, or take a stroll. The infrastructure here has been improving too, because you're minutes from San Jose International Airport, which is huge for families who travel frequently domestically. It's still also easy to get to San Francisco Airport for all your international flights, whether it's for work or for pleasure. The light rail and Caltrain connections make commuting throughout Silicon Valley also very seamless. Plus, you're also less than a mile from downtown San Jose for entertainment and dining as they continue to improve that area too. What's interesting about Santa Clara is how it's managed to keep its character while still seeing some pretty amazing growth, unlike some other areas that feel very overdeveloped. Santa Clara has this balance of modern tech infrastructure with established neighborhood feel that appeals to families looking for stability. This mix of tech proximities, community character, along with lower energy costs because of its own grid, makes it very popular. But compared to the explosive 20% growth numbers we're going to see in a different city layer, Santa Clara's steady performance is actually pretty modest, so these prices may still be incredibly cheap right now. But before we go to the next place, smash that subscribe button if you want to stay ahead of Silicon Valley's housing market. The real estate scene is very mixed, but I'm constantly sharing the latest market trends on this channel. You're going to be ahead of the game, and then reach out to me and let's go over a game plan to work together. Let's head over to Los Gatos. If Santa Clara attracts a lot of tech professionals, what about Los Gatos? This is the place for the ultimate Silicon Valley lifestyle experience, because Los Gatos has always been where successful families want to live, and it's also a place where there's good diversity relative to other cities. The current market shows just how much premium families are willing to pay for that coveted lifestyle. The median home price is $2.7 million, which is a 15% year-over-year growth. But here's what makes Los Gatos special and why it commands these prices versus others. You still have small town charm with world-class amenities that you just can't find anywhere else. The downtown area is incredible. You got vibrant restaurants, many Michelin star places that are in their downtown. You got boutique shopping along North Santa Cruz Avenue. As this authentic community feel you just can't simply manufacture today. This village area invested millions in downtown improvements over the last decade, so it makes it even more walkable and vibrant. You can literally park once and spend an entire Saturday shopping, dining, and enjoying community events. There are also regular festivals and events that bring thousands of visitors who fall in love with the area. A lot of people do choose up to live here if they have an opportunity to do so. And when it comes to education, Los Gatos delivers at the highest of levels. The Union's elementary Elementary School District ranks in the top 5% statewide. For high school, the Los Gatos Saratoga Joint Union High School also ranks top 5 in all of California with an A+ grade. When you're a tech executive with kids, this level of academic excellence matters. You can see that easily reflected in sustained demand and home values. But here's what's really driving families to pay these premium prices. Los Gatos gives you access to nature preserves and hiking trails while keeping you close to major tech campuses. You can also just head out for a family hike in the Santa Cruz Mountains, or go bike riding, or head out to Santa Cruz altogether. The Lexington Reservoir and Los Gatos Creek Trail provides year-round outdoor activities that make this area feel like a resort community. Now, the housing stock is also very diverse, as you're gonna have lots of different price points for buyers. You got gorgeous Victorian stunners downtown, mid-century ranches, and you got some brand new construction that have been being developed. Whatever your style preference, Los Gatos does have options, though even these premium Los Gatos prices look reasonable compared to what families are paying in nearby cities like Los Altos, which averages over $4.4 million. I'll give you a glimpse as to why people are choosing there too. Now, the market here in Los Gatos is more selective, but that's exactly what appeals to families who want quality over speed. Now, while Los Gatos focuses on lifestyle and quality, there's another community where the numbers tell a completely different story, one of explosive growth that's catching everyone's attention. Let's talk about the intersection of Mountain View and Cupertino, which is Sunnyvale. Let me show you why this area has been crushing it. This area has seen the most dramatic growth over the last decade, because if you think about Google in Mountain View and Apple in Cupertino, all of those places have been gobbled up. So they intersect in a city called Sunnyvale. That's why you can see that the median sale price now of Sunnyvale is $2.3 million, which is an incredible 20% year-over-year growth. Homes are easily going pending under 2 weeks on average. And that location that I just mentioned is perfect for today's tech landscape, because you are just minutes from Google, LinkedIn, and Apple. But you're also getting family-friendly neighborhoods with top-ranked public schools, especially in the south of El Camino Real. So schools like the Cherry Chase Elementary and the Cumberland Elementary do stand out. Now, the central part of Sunnyvale is also fantastic because it gives you walkability and urban amenities that not every place has. The newer developments around there are usually rentals, but it's a great option for those that are just moving in to eventually want to establish a home base. If people are working in San Francisco, it's also very convenient to be able to commute along the Caltrain, as there's many stops along Sunnyvale. Now, while Sunnyvale's explosive 20% growth is incredible, wait until you see this ultimate community where the average homes are still selling for over $4.4 million. I'm going to show you that in a few minutes, but before that, I'm going to show you a little bit more about Sunnyvale. The parks and recreational facilities are continuing to be excellent because we're talking about lots of community centers, youth sports leagues, and family events that create the kind of neighborhood connection busy tech professionals value. I personally love Las Palmas Park because that area has a fantastic Sunnyvale tennis center with lots of tennis courts and pickleball courts. So it's not just the proximity, but it's also about the lifestyle as to why a lot of people love to choose Sunnyvale as that home base. And never mind, lots of fantastic Indian restaurants all around. This incredible growth rate in Sunnyvale shows what happens when location, schools, community, and timing all align perfectly. It's this combination that creates this explosive demand, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But what about the communities that have been the gold standard for tech families for decades? Let's look at how even the most established neighborhoods are adapting to this new competitive reality. Let's look into Cupertino. Cupertino proves that established communities with great schools and tech proximity will never go out of style, because the data shows why these areas remain the gold standard for tech families. Cupertino is taking that premium factor to another level, because we're talking about a $2.65 million median price point with a 12% year-over-year growth. It is home to Apple, which is known all around the world, as families will have access to top schools here. These schools consistently produce some of its highest test scores in California, appealing to those parents that want their children prepared for the best academically. Now, one day, Valco Town Center is going to have their redevelopment done, and that's going to be incredible, but I don't expect that to happen for another 5+ years. But Cupertino does offer diverse housing stock, as you have single family homes to some newer built townhomes, and you have condos all throughout. So there's many different entry points for individuals. This competition in both areas is intense, which is why they've maintained their value through multiple market cycles. They have established infrastructure. They've got the kind of amenities that takes decades to develop if they could even do it. So when you're buying Cupertino, you're typically buying just something that is tested over time. You're buying stability and consistent performance. 30 years ago, my parents had the ability to buy in Cupertino for a small home or a bigger home in Milpitas. We ended up buying in Milpitas, and I'm happy to be there, but if they bought in Cupertino, they would have been significantly wealthier. We're going to talk about the other city, which right now has been the pinnacle of Silicon Valley living, which is Los Altos. Because let me show you the community. This area has been one of the top benefactors of price appreciation and growth in all of the Bay Area. The numbers are incredible because now they're at a median sales price of $4.5 million. In the past, Palo Alto and Los Altos were a little bit closer, but not anymore because Los Altos by default has larger lots, and because of a little bit more flexibility of work than pre-COVID, people do value and appreciate this larger space because they're not just buying a house, they're buying a different lifestyle, a community, and most importantly, a clear investment in their family's future. Los Altos attracts the most affluent tech executives and families, often with significant equity from IPOs or high-level comp packages. So what makes Los Altos worth these premium prices? You get some of the largest lot sizes in Silicon Valley, as I brought up, because we're talking about, by default, an average of a quarter acre in most spots, if not more. So plenty of places for gardens, room for kids to play, privacy from neighbors, lots of parties, or even trying to build more housing. You're gonna have a mix of homes from older style homes built in the 50s, 60s, and a lot of custom estate constructions that are huge. This helps maintain the area's exclusive character while still allowing for growth and renewal. But you're also, most importantly, buying the cream of the crop when it comes to education. This school district is ranked top 1% in all of California and will continue to always top ranking statewide. So when you're paying these premiums, you're investing in your children's educational foundation and institutions that set the gold standard for everywhere across the state. Now, there are two very different parts of Los Altos. You have the hills and you also have Los Altos proper, which is closer to downtown. Los Altos proper has been very favorable because it's all flat ground, but the ones in the hills, they could be larger, more expensive estate, but you have to be ready for the terrain. Nevertheless, it's shown incredible resilience also through multiple cycles, whether it's an up cycle or even a down cycle, as I've been tracking this area through for decades. It's incredible to see where it has been relative to where it has been in the past, because now it is one of the clear leaders. My wealthier clients wants more privacy and space, but be ready to pay the premium and be ready for way less turnover because of how desirable this area is. So as you can see, we've seen communities with lots of growth, lifestyle premiums, some areas with explosive appreciation, some have established stability, and these kind of ultra luxury exclusivity. What's the common thread that's driving the demand across all these different price points and community types? If you think about it, the AI boom isn't just changing careers, it's also reshaping where tech families want to call home and where the next opportunities are. Knowing this, there is a reason why people all around the world want to be in the Bay Area and why they want to be in the center of all this action. Because if these people can afford to live anywhere, but they choose the best environment for themselves, their children, and ultimately their families. Because they deliver on education, amenities, but most importantly, that pure network to hustle and to meet the next great entrepreneurs and great partners or investors. And you can't just simply recreate these. Every other place in the world keeps saying they are Silicon Valley X or Silicon Y. But the reality is a very difficult thing to replicate, and while places can have a fraction of it, it's very difficult to have this deep feedback loop, which is the environment here in the Bay Area. Now, while some people may call this a bubble, others call this as the early innings of the global AI race between America and between China. If there is one place to bet in the world that you have the ability to choose to be in, it's the Bay Area. But don't forget that it's not just small startups, it's also all these tech giants that are poised to have the biggest benefits and leverage. If you think about living minutes from Apple, Google, or a lot of these different AI companies that continue to blossom, it's not just about commute convenience, it's about being the center of where these activities are going or where your next opportunity that can leverage these different AI products can be. These areas become investment grade real estate that holds value even through down markets, and it has happened every single time. And that's why families are willing to pay these premium prices and compete so intensely for these Silicon Valley neighborhoods so they can get back to focus on those real money makers. Silicon Valley's hottest communities are still experiencing strong demand. You got Sunnyvale that's leading with amazing appreciation, Los Altos maintaining a status as the pinnacle of Silicon living in the area, Mountain View and Cupertino holding their own and being very desirable. Tech families aren't just buying expensive homes, they're investing in proximity to these innovation hubs, world-class education, and lifestyle quality that matches their success. With inventory tight in good areas, and as a former tech professional who's helped over 60 families successfully navigate this market every single year, I know exactly what it takes to have the right expectations and to win. You can call or text me at 408-217-6557 today, and let's create a game plan that gets you the home you want so you also have realistic expectations. Or you can also reach out to me via email. We'll create a custom strategy that matches your lifestyle needs and budgets. Now, if this breakdown of the Valley's hottest areas was helpful, you've got to see the next video where I break down all the new developments coming to the Valley that are going to impact housing prices. Check it out right over here.